Welcome back. We all know that the State of the Union is tomorrow. And by the way, we will have a special right here on Newsmax TV 10 minutes prior to the start of the State of the Union at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time with John Bachman. And afterward, Dick Morris and Alan West and John Bachman will have a special exclusive 1 half hour wrap-up of the State of the Union. And you'll hear the State of the Union here on Newsmax TV as well. But joining us right now is Neil Munro, White House correspondent for the Daily Caller. Hey, Neil.
Hi, delighted to be here.
Well, thank you. My pleasure to have you. All right, so what could we expect? I see that Obama today, as you reported, has set up a new office in the White House to help avert a political strategy and outreach, which I don't know how you fit on a business card. So with that as the backdrop, and of course class warfare is the probability, and bashing Republicans, what specifically could we look for in the State of the Union?
Okay. If you look for all the words and the gestures and the sound, you'll miss the important stuff. The administration put out an enormous volume of talking points and statements and words and poll-tested terms. You got to look between the stuff. Pay attention to what they're focusing on. And what they're focusing on are three things. The present, namely winning the 2014 election. Obama's speech and the State of the Union speech is going to be kind of a kickoff for 2014 election campaign. They're trying mostly to keep the Senate from flipping Republican. It appears they've given up on winning the House. To win the Senate, they're going to talk about supposedly Republican malevolence towards women. That's the whole war on women thing. They're going to talk about the poverty and inequality of income caused by Obama's own policies. And they're going to blame Republicans for not stopping his policies. Fine, that's the present. For the near term, what they're going to be doing over the next couple of years is digging their guys deep into the agencies, rewriting rules and regulations that shape how you make your living, how you buy your houses, how you educate your kids, and how you manage your local societies. They want to rewrite as much as they can, as fast as they can, so that the nice progressives from Yale and Harvard and the Ivy League are in charge of your life. And the third thing they want is to win the future. They want to win the future by passing an immigration bill that will bring in double immigration to 2 million a year or so, with a huge amnesty, piles of guest workers, so more people become poorer, more people become dependent on the government, and so that Democrats can look Republicans in the eye and laugh. They'll laugh. As soon as this bill is signed, if it is signed, they will laugh and say, we are going to win every future election 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, so we don't care what you say now. So they want win the election in November, change the way the rules we live by, and seize the future by changing the population. It's only three things. That's what they want to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, three things that'll change the world for us here in this country. And we're talking to Neil Munro. He is the White House correspondent for the Daily Caller here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Now, everything you've just talked about is impossible to get through legislatively. So everything you talked about, over the past few weeks, every day it seems Obama's holding up his pen, saying, "I've got a pen." Pluff and Carney said it over on the Sunday shows. Again, he's got a pen. This is a man who's been talked about as ruling by fiat and an imperial presidency, and that comes from the likes of people who are on the left and are legal scholars. Not Jonathan Turley for one, not just right-wing talk show hosts. So everything you mentioned will be unilaterally done, pushing the envelope through executive order and through agency rule like the EPA, correct?
Yes, and the IRS. So the IRS in the 2012 election set out, as far as we can see, to cripple the Tea Party, prevent Americans from organizing to take part in the elections, and they did that partially successfully. They intend to do that again this year by changing the rules. So to cripple Tea Party guys, but not unions and not business, because the Democrats are happy to make deals with business. You're right, they can't win the election through legislation, but fights in Congress will help them. So, for example, the Democrats pretended that they wanted an extension of the unemployment insurance deal for long-term unemployed. They didn't fight for it. They didn't bargain for it. They didn't offer to trade anything for it. They merely wanted to set it up as a fight. They wanted to lose so they could go on the campaign trail saying, we tried to get more unemployment, but the mean Republicans are against it.
Right.
It's true on the agencies. Congress Congress can't stop the agencies. Congress would have to go to judges and say, judges, stop this rule.
Right, and we
that.
saw what happened with the EPA the last time the Supreme Court weighed in on that. It didn't go too well.
Right, and besides, what happens when the administration added to doing is simply not enforcing the law? And so a judge said, look, you're not enforcing the law on immigration, but there's nothing I can do because you're not enforcing the law.
Right.
And Congress can't do anything about that, too. And the final thing on immigration is, yes, they can win that through Congress. The Republican leadership is working with the business guys to pass an immigration bill. I mean, you sort of look at these guys and say, are you out of your mind? And you don't know whether it's hard to tell whether Republican leadership is in effect lying to the business guys by saying we support this massive increase in labor supply, or they're lying to their Tea Party.
No, I got to tell you, and we're almost out of time here, Neil, but the fact of the matter is I'm so with you. It's a lose, 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 lose proposition on immigration reform, no matter how you look at it. Listen, we'll have you back soon. I appreciate your time, sir.
Sure. Okay, thanks very much.
My pleasure. Neil Munro, White House correspondent for the Daily Caller, right here on the Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.
The Steve